to take a moment to reflect and remember the true history and meaning behind this holiday. So here to help us do that is Gustavo Arellano. He's a columnist for the Los Angeles Times. Gustavo, welcome. Okay, so a lot of confusion about what Cinco de Mayo actually commemorates. So set the record straight for us.
Cinco de Mayo specifically commemorates the Battle of Puebla. In 1863, the French army, 8,000 troops strong, they try to storm the citadel in Puebla, a city in central Mexico. An army of 4,000 Mexicans, vastly outmatched, but they were able to beat them. So it was the ultimate upset victory. So in Mexico it was celebrated, but especially in the American Southwest, 15 years earlier, of course, that was part of Mexico. So all these Mexican Americans saw the Battle of Puebla as something to look up to. Like it was a battle against imperial powers that inspired these Mexican Americans to fight off against the Americans that were invading their own lands.
Okay, so it's a David versus Goliath story with the imperial Mexican context. So what were the original celebrations like?
They were patriotic things. Think of the kind of like 4th of July, except Mexican Independence Day, September 16th, not Cinco de Mayo, but there'd be speeches, there'd be parties. It wasn't what it turned into today, but it was something wonderful. It was really something beautiful. And also, you know, you have to put in context, 1863, that was when there was a civil war going on. So in the United States, the Mexican Americans there, they saw it like this is our way to fight against slavery. Mexico had outlawed slavery decades before the United States. And so this was a celebration of the possibilities of a union, not of union, but of a partnership, or at least admiration between Mexico and the Union side with opposition against the Confederates and the French who were on the side of the Confederacy.
Okay, so opposition to slavery is not at all what we understand the holiday to be in current American social context. So how did today's marketing and this commercialization of Cinco de Mayo happen? And what does that mean to you?
What happened was beer companies, Americans basically discovered Cinco de Mayo, kind of like St. Patrick's Day. People forget St. Patrick's Day is technically a Catholic holiday that all Catholics are supposed to celebrate, but specifically Irish because St. Patrick is a patron saint of Ireland. Now you think about just dropping, Jameson and Guinness and Bushmill if you like that type of whiskey. So same thing with Cinco de Mayo in the United States. What used to be a patriotic celebration eventually just became an excuse to party. American beer companies in the 80s like Budweiser, Coors Light, and then eventually Corona, they started celebrating or having these specials at bars. Eventually Americans think, hey, it's a party, let me wear a sombrero, let me wear a fake mustache, let me get drunk on beer. And then it got to the point where Mexicans who used to celebrate Cinco de Mayo, all of a sudden this myth got to them that, oh, Cinco de Mayo is not a real Mexican holiday, only Americans celebrate it. And for me, it's classic appropriation. It's appropriation, yes, Americans taking over something that used to be great for Mexicans, but it's also us Mexicans not knowing our full history, and us Mexicans too easily, frankly, getting pissed off or upset about the Americans taking something from us as opposed to us reappropriating it back.
I am here for this reappropriation, especially if it involves any celebration of music and dance. And I mean, do you actually blame people for enjoying a holiday in which drinking is involved? Real quick, because we gotta let you go after this.
Sure. It's Americans. They pretend they love ethnics. They love ethnic culture, but they hate the ethnics. So for us Mexicans, let's take that culture back and let's celebrate and party and drink like ever before and tell Americans you can't do it anymore until you know the history.
Awesome. I think that is a great lesson to take away, Gustavo. Thank you for joining us this evening. And Kelly, that's it for me on this show tonight.
You gotta love Gustavo and his spirit. Cinco de Mayo. Now we know. Thanks, Nayyera. Always good to work.